In the last 4 years of college and university, I experienced God very clearly through spring break camp. And going in every year, there's always something else going on, and there's always a lot of storms going on around me. But I remember very clearly freshman year going through the passage where Jesus is walking on the water and there's a storm going on. The disciples see him and they're afraid. But Jesus says, "Take courage, it is I, do not be afraid." And that has stuck with me the last 4 years, that God is always there with me. He is here, so I should not be afraid. And he walks with me and he goes wherever I go.
One of the ways that I've experienced God in college and through university specifically is, I think, transitioning from thinking that as a Christian I can just love people through my actions, but actually realizing that a huge part of it is being able to learn how to verbalize my thoughts about God and about faith, and how to engage my non-believer friends in that conversation in a way that's going to contextualize the gospel for them and in a way that's going to make sense to them.
So I guess I would say I've experienced God through university, through community and worship and scripture. Just being able to interact with people from diverse cultural and spiritual backgrounds has given me a bigger picture of who God is. Also, the focus on the inductive Bible study that university has given me the opportunity to a fresh perspective on scripture. And also the focus on reaching our friends with the gospel has given me the opportunity to see God at work firsthand.
Well, throughout the last 4 years with InterVarsity, I've experienced just this deep softening of my heart, and it's just culminated with it breaking in the end, pretty much. You know, I saw myself basically as like a statue that had fallen over and was in pieces on the ground, and you know, with my identity broken and gone, I was kind of left with nothing, it seemed like, and I knew that I needed to build myself up with Christ. And when I was left with nothing, kind of saw that in order to receive everything that God had to give me, you know, I had to first start with nothing. So it's that moment that's really scary, when you let God take what's in your hand and you're left with nothing. But he gives back twice, so that was like the greatest experience I ever had, and I felt so alive afterwards, and I feel so alive now. So I think it just goes to show that you know, even growing up Christian and feeling like you know so many things, if just you awakening that you can have inside your heart.
My time in college, God has shaped me and really challenged me to refocus my life and center my life around Him, so that I may be a living sacrifice and my whole life reflects His love and His purpose. My time at UCSD and being in La Jolla has really opened my eyes to ways that I can love and be compassionate and stand up for things that I wouldn't have thought about in high school, and in the same time being forgiving to things that hurt the people who I'm standing up for.
I think that InterVarsity taught me that God is always in control. I think my team leaders definitely taught me that one. I think that they taught me that like God is in control of like my grades, like God is in control of my family, that He's in control of my Bible study that I lead, and that in the end He's in control of like everything in my life. For me, like I think the biggest thing that InterVarsity has kind of like given me, and like what I've like learned and experienced God through InterVarsity, is probably just the fact that I think success is to love God more in the end. If our greatest commandment is to love God with everything that we are, then for me, like what success is to love Him with everything that I am, and to love Him more at the end of the day.
So I've experienced God mostly through the Word, through Scripture and through Jesus. I do feel like the Word is a tangible way for me to see the ways that God has moved in His people and in the lives of His people. And for me, that's really powerful. And I really see how it applies to my life and the ways that God has moved in my life through the ways that God has moved through the lives of other people in the Bible. Especially in times when I don't feel like God is present, or I don't feel His presence with me. Scripture is definitely a way that I feel hope and joy again. Jesus never had a doubt about what His mission on earth was, and that's because I feel like He knew Scripture so well. He knew what He was here to do on earth, and I feel like if I knew what my mission was on earth half as much as Jesus did, I'd be set. But then again, Jesus was the Word, so that's not really fair. but Jesus redeems. I'm graduating!